Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today on this event. My name is Yaroslava Hudym. I am head of hospitality and finance industries at Computools. And today our webinar will be dedicated to automation in the hospitality industry and how automation is actually driven in hotels and restaurants. Based on our experience in digital transformation, we have prepared a complete guide on how to drive digital transformation in hospitality businesses in a smooth and seamless manner. And so our webinar will consist of 3 parts. The first one will be about digital transformation in hotels. Then my colleague Walid will present his speech about how to drive transformation in restaurants. And at the end of the webinar, there will be a Q&A session with our Chief Delivery Officer, Alex Ved. So you will have a chance to ask him your questions regarding digital transformation in the hospitality industry. So I'm going to share some presentations so that it will be easier to follow me while I'm presenting my expertise. Just wait a second, please. Okay, so let's start. When it comes to the work of hotels, it's very challenging to manage one without cloud-based software tools today. Today, the majority of customers and hotel guests expect to receive their services online, and the most famous hotel chains that you may know are known for their spotless reputation exactly because they are extremely good at managing their hospitality operations like housekeeping, customer service, and personnel management and payments and so on. So if we are thinking of building out a hotel software system from scratch, we need to keep in mind that this kind of system will need to have 2 services to enable interaction between guests and hotel staff. So these 2 services will be a guest service like mobile app or website, and administration service, which can be administration website or desktop or mobile app as well. So we are going to talk about each service in more details, describing the functionality that is usually typical for this kind of site. Okay, and so let's talk about guest functionality first. So what would we expect to have in our system on guest side? So as hotel guests, most likely we would like to have such user abilities as quick search for accommodation, then fast check-in, comfortable accommodation, and other hotel services, as well as easy checkout and after-stay procedures. So we are going to investigate now what exactly we need to build out in order to enable these common features that hotel guests usually expect to get when they use hotel software, particularly mobile app. So today, many travelers do not always start searching for accommodation and making their reservation directly on your hotel website. So the easiest way is to start using external aggregators like Airbnb or Booking.com that house thousands of different offers at the same time. So for a hotel, it's very important to think and enable this integration with such external aggregators that basically act as distribution channels. Because for guests, it will be very easy to make a reservation and have their personal data then displayed directly to the desired hotel by the time they arrive. While for the business, the API integration with such external aggregators allows them to provide their data to Airbnb and Booking.com, so guests can easily view their pricing types, their room types, how many rooms are available right now, during their search, as well as other services that the hotel is ready to offer. And besides, if guests make their reservations from Airbnb or Booking.com, it's also beneficial to the business because the payment process and the transaction can be also handled on the side of Airbnb, but not your business. So basically, it benefits both guests and your business. Okay, at the check-in stage, most hotels offer their guests to download a hotel app. This app usually provides guests with the most essential information about all the services that the hotel provides. And basically, such a mobile app is a simple way to enable instant interaction and communication between the guests and a hotel. And so let's say guests can indicate their preferences in the services, their wishes or complaints if something goes wrong. So in case they need to file a claim or some kind of service they would like to get, they simply use their mobile app and indicate what they would like to receive without having to go to the check-in desk and waiting long until their needs are met. And from business side, why this mobile app is important? Because it's also meant to gather all the data about each guest staying in the hotel. So it's going to be very important later for the business once it decides to embark on different marketing campaigns. And now let's look at the accommodation. So by accommodation, we mean all the kind of services that guests are able to receive with the help of mobile app. So let's say this can be cleaning or food delivery or table reservation, personal transfer or driver, and conference room. So whatever service guests would like to have, they can use mobile app to place their requests, which is very convenient and besides transparent, because if you decide to integrate in-app payment methods, then the process of requesting the service becomes extremely transparent, because guests are going to know how much they will be charged for the service they are going to request. So again, it's very easy and it simplifies the process of customer service and the process of interaction between hotel management and guests. And now we're going to talk about restaurants. So right now, when it comes to the mobile app functionality, the majority of guests expect the mobile app to support access to the e-menu. So basically, guests can place an order and book a table, and this kind of data will be then displayed in the hotel software. And if you're integrating your kitchen module with your hotel software, so your kitchen personnel will know what kind of food preferences your guests have. They will know what kind of meal needs to be served so that your guests would be completely satisfied. And again, if you support in-app payments, it becomes very easy because guests can pay for their food delivery in advance or upon delivery. And sometimes, depending on the country, the restaurant module can support optional tips functionality and feedback form, which again is very essential, because by gathering feedbacks from your guests, the hotel management will know the quality of the service as well as the level of satisfaction of your customers. And at the checkout stage, it's very important to keep in mind that guests would like to have this procedure as quick as possible. So it's very good for a hotel to provide it in a digital way. So let's say by offering your guests to fill in a feedback form in advance, or at the time of the checkout, they can do it very quickly, and they can provide you with an extensive review regarding each kind of service they have got at the hotel. And by gathering lots of reviews from your guests, your hotel administrators will know if your guests are satisfied, and they will be able to support the quality, to maintain the quality of service at the highest level. And also there is such a feature that if you see that there are enough of reviews that have 4 and plus stars, then those kind of reviews can be pushed to external platforms and aggregators that promote your hotel. And so in this way, you will support your reputation. Okay. And after stay stage is something really important as well, because once your guests leave your hotel, they may still have their personal profile with your mobile app. And at this stage, there are two scenarios. The first one, if your guests decide to keep their personal profile, then it's going to be okay. And it even benefits you again when you're going to run your marketing campaigns later, because you will be able to use all the data you've gathered during their stay. But if customers decide to delete their personal profile, then most likely they will have to be completely removed from your hotel software as well, because this is how User Data Protection Act is usually enforced in place and in practice, let's say when it comes to the GDPR compliance. So it's something important to keep in mind of when it comes to the process of data after the stay at the hotel is finished. Okay, and now let's jump to administration functionality. Administration functionality is something really important, but is what your guests will not know about. So how you plan your administration service is extremely important, because it's going to affect the efficiency of your business. The more easier to manage the data on administration side, the more value you will derive from the software system. So this is why it's very important to analyze the specific of your business, to single out business operations and single out modules, and also to structure functionality based on your specific business workflows. So let's talk about that. So I'm going to list a number of features that can be expected on administration side for hotel software. So in the majority of cases, it's going to be reservations and check-in, administration, cleaning, warehouse and inventory, financials, HR, guest profile database, marketing, business intelligence, and after-stay activities. So we're going to talk about them in more detail, and some of them can be just like sections, but some of them are going to be like separate modules that cover an operation that needs to be performed and maintained in reality. So let's start with the reservations. Sometimes the reservations module is viewed as the core of the entire hotel software. And why is that? Because before your guests arrive at your hotel, your front desk staff already needs to know all the essential information about their arrival and about their stay. So let's say they need to know estimated arrival and departure date. They need to know how many nights your guests are going to spend at your hotel, if they have +1, and what is their room type. And sometimes they may also request some additional services, for example, like luggage storing or parking. And these are kind of services that will be charged separately in addition to the entire fee for their stay. And so the reservation module is meant to house all this kind of data and provide front desk staff with the ability to track all these things. And the benefit of the reservations module is that you can see sort of statistics of arrivals, departures, and stayovers that is updated daily. And also you can detect overbookings and manage cancellations on time so that you can effectively make the most use of your rooms and bedrooms, because sometimes there are rooms that need to be filled in first, while others are of lesser priority. So you can manage all this with the reservation module if it's planned smartly. And at the check-in stage on administration side, the most important thing to do for front desk personnel is to get a guest ID and make sure that it matches the name on the reservation. So basically, front desk personnel performs guest data verification process. They give in a personal card to guests and maybe make some records to the system. And also the check-in module may support claims collection management because it automates the way guests may leave their requests and explain what they like to be delivered and provide it with immediately. So if we automate this process as well and link it to the reservation or check-in, again, it's going to considerably improve the quality of our service to guests. And the administration module is something that is targeted at coordinators or supervisors, basically like top managers that need to arrange work and distribute it across departments. So this module can be represented in the form of a dashboard that gathers data about different hotel operations. Because having the full picture of what's going on at your hotel right now allows coordinators to understand what is really important and what needs to be fixed and how to organize all business processes so that the hotel keeps working effectively. So for instance, in this module, you can see some internal staff information, the current schedule, and real-time tracking of employee shifts. And so basically, this is like the general dashboard that lets you quickly understand what's going on at your hotel right now at this very moment. And so based on that, you can then make like data-driven decisions, which is really important for businesses today. And the cleaning department can be also represented as a separate module, which is also known as housekeeping. So the purpose of this module is to manage the work of cleaning staff and make sure that they do not disturb your guests at their personal time. So how does it usually work? With the mobile app, your guests can specify their preferred cleaning hours, and this data will be then displayed on your administration service, and then you can come up with a comfortable cleaning schedule, and you can assign shifts to your staff. And in this way, like, your guests receive this cleaning service at the time they prefer, and so you can also balance the workload for your personnel and manage shifts very effectively. And sometimes the cleaning module can also support the feature of filing claims for inventory, because it's something very important that can be input at this module and then used later when it comes to inventory. And so we all know that each hotel needs a warehouse. And so optionally, you can see this kind of section within hotel software. And why is it needed? Because you need to automate goods movement, you need to keep track of stock count, and you would like to track dates of expiry dates of products. And by managing all this kind of data in the warehouse panel, you can keep track of your goods. You will know when they need to be used and when expiry date is coming. And so eventually the purpose of this module is to reduce waste and avoid losses for your business and make sure that goods are delivered by the right time and in the right quantity. But often warehouse goes along with inventory module, and the difference is the inventory module is more targeted at invoicing and receipt automation. So basically here we would like to make sure that our bills and our orders are paid on time. And this is why inventory management module is built out. And sometimes some businesses would like to keep track separately of return of goods, because again, it may impact the losses, which most businesses would like to avoid. And optionally, we can also include some features related to asset management. And with that in mind, that we have just discussed warehouse and inventory, there comes the most important module when it comes to money management, and this is financials module. And again, why it's important, because it controls in management and manages every process related to money management in your business. So here I should say that there are businesses that prefer to integrate with already existing solutions on the market, sort of off-the-shelf solutions and leader products such as Zoho Books or Xero or Free Agent or QuickBooks. And basically this is a shortcut, because if you decide to integrate, you don't need to cover payments and transactions on your side, because you just you sort of let this to happen outside of your system. However, it's still possible to manage financials. However, it's still possible to build out the same functionality as part of your own system. And in this case, it's going to be more custom, because you may decide to include more custom finance reports. You can also include payroll, or you can add some data analytics. So eventually it's up to you to decide if you're going to integrate with an existing financial product, or you will come up with something unique to specifically tailor your business needs. And the module about human resources management is something extremely important, because it sort of sits in between other modules, but again, it will be of primary importance, because here you will add all the personnel that works at your hotel. You will assign them to different departments. You will indicate their hourly rates. You will track their vacation and sick leave days. And then this data will be then pushed to financials. And based on that, you will do your payroll. And the other side of the HR module is that you can monitor workload, and you can also keep track of your staff satisfaction levels. And if you see that they may not be satisfied with the kind of responsibility they do or their schedule, so you can provide them with the ability to fill an appraisal form. And based on that, you will know if they are really comfortable with the assignment they receive. And if not, you can come up with optional perks that will serve sort of a source of motivation for your staff. So basically that's it. And guest profile database is not a separate module. However, I would like to emphasize its importance, because all the data you're going to collect with the mobile app and by working with front desk modules such as reservations, check-in. So all this data will be gathered in one database. So it will be all in one database, categorized by different guest types. and containing all the information and all the descriptions related to the services provided to each of guests that has ever stayed at your hotel. Then you will be able also to store some information about guest personalized offers and medical records, and some specific information that will let you later understand the peculiarities of this guest behavior, and based on that you will know better how to turn this guest into your loyal client. And once you've collected this database, you can now jump to do your marketing campaigns. And of course, it's extremely important because you would want to both retain your existing customers and also acquire more. So this is why marketing module is really important to have. Again, here, similar to financials, you may opt for integrating with existing solutions on the market. And in this case, this outside service will use the data from your guest profile database and perform marketing campaigns for your guests. And how it may work, for instance, you can come up with personalized in-app offers. You can do different mailouts targeted at different guest segments. You can also come up with different notifications that again push your guests to interact with their mobile app, and maybe to have a look at the hotel events agenda, or book another visit if they are maybe thinking of having a vacation right now. So again, the marketing module can be very flexible, and you can decide what kind of marketing activities you would like to have, and based on that, plan your functionality. And now when we have already established all the previous modules and all our operations already in place, and the personnel is working, so now it makes sense to think about business intelligence module. So it is mostly targeted at C-level officers that would like to have the very in-depth and full picture of what's going on across departments and how well each operation is delivered and performed. So the business intelligence module is basically like a dashboard with different reports. And in our case, it would be reasonable to come up with reports such as financials that are based on data coming from our profit and loss, or how many goods we buy and how much services we provide. And then let's say it can also contain HR reports and marketing and sales reports, hotel load, and brand loyalty reports that may involve the analytics of guests' reviews and rankings of our services. But again, there are some businesses that would like to have their custom report builder because they want more custom information and custom metrics and indicators, like to have a more specific look at their business performance. And so in this case, besides some standard reports that seem obvious based on the data we have already input in the previous module, and so based on those standard reports, we can also include some custom that imply ad hoc analysis and receiving some like unique indicators and metrics that C-level officers may need to plan their business strategy further. And the after-stay procedure on administration side basically involves thinking of how you can further involve your guests with your brand to make sure that they're going to come back and they're going to visit you again and benefit from your services. So if we are already using marketing module, we can again rely on in-app notifications with personalized offers, or we can offer them some discounts or promo codes. Sometimes we may think of referral program that lets hotels to retain more, to acquire more customers, because their existing customers will invite their friends, and so the hotel can expand their clientele, and so become more popular within a specific category of guests. And so basically, this is more or less the overall picture of how a hotel software system needs to work in order to provide support for those real-life operations that need to be performed in reality. And of course, the functionality for such software can be customized and tailored to the specifics of your business. However, relying on this guide, you may have like up to 80% of functionality that is likely to be important and that is likely to benefit your business. However, it's all can be customized and tailored to how you would like it to see for your company. And so thank you for your attention. It's been a pleasure to tell you about automation in hotels. And now I'm giving the word to my colleague from London, Walid, and he will tell about how to drive automation in restaurants and share his expertise. Yeah, so thank you.